Hurricane, a tidal wave. Essence perfect, life looks brilliant. Give me more of this. I'm out of control, about to blow, and I've been caught in the undertow. So toxic, but I can't get enough. You burying me, burying me. Yeah, you burying me, burying me. You've got me hypnotized. Push me out of myself. You've got me hypnotized. Whoa. I can see, I can hear, going crazy for the light. It's got me hypnotized. Everyone is watching me when I'm coming around. They all are judging me when I'm lying on the ground. I've got no shelter, I've got no escape. My life is a prison and I can't run away. I feel it in my bones. I'm losing it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Taking Over. I am Old Ed Fries, and I'm joined by the one and only, the natural Astrid Pizarro. Astrid, how you doing today?
Doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing good. Sorry, everybody who was expecting Talking Takeover yesterday. We had some personal issues come up, and we were not able to go ahead and do that. We are going to do it live next Monday night, so we will be doing that. Our Revolution next Monday night. It'll be a whole bunch of fun. Speaking of a whole bunch of fun, that was not what we could use to describe this week's episode of NXT.
It was like up and down for me, at least. I don't know if it felt like the pace wasn't steady for me, to put it like that.
Kudos to NXT for having 4 women's matches. Kudos for them having enough time for each match. Like, none of the matches felt like they needed more time. None of the matches felt like they went too long. I'm not salty. I'm not salty.
Oh,
I just didn't love tonight's episode of NXT. I was I'll put it this way. I was bored during this week's episode of NXT.
No.
I felt bored. I felt the entire 2 hours of this show. At no point during this show did I feel like it was flying by.
It felt like it felt longer today.
Yeah. We'll start at the top. The only good thing of the entire no, I'm sorry. Not the only good thing. The best thing on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Wes Lee versus Josh Briggs. Thought this was fantastic. Got plenty of time. Probably got too much time, but I'll let it slide because I was having fun. Ivar comes out on commentary, doesn't say a whole lot. I was really excited when he was on commentary. I'm like, they're going to give him a personality. They're going to let him talk. Because this guy, ironically, can talk, can cut a promo. I know this man. I've seen this man around town. He's a very personable person who can have a great conversation with you. He can cut a promo. But he didn't do a hell of a lot on commentary in this match. Now, part of that is that we have Booker T, which is still the biggest negative in NXT. You got to get rid of Booker T. We'll talk more about how much I hate Booker T later. Because, oh boy, is Booker T all over the show for me. And that's the reason why I hate everything on this show. I thought the match was great. I loved the point where Wes Lee wasn't taking any high-risk moves early, but he was using his speed to evade Josh Briggs. And then Briggs starts working the back over. And granted, during the commercial break, but that's fine. We don't need to see Josh Briggs doing all the back work. We just need to know he's doing it. So it's the perfect thing to throw in the picture-in-picture. However, it does make Josh Briggs look a little bit weaker because all the cool stuff that he does, which are those big, heavy moves, got done in the commercial break. Mm-hmm. They battled to back and forth when they come back. It's really cool. Briggs gets pushed into Ivar by a drop kick from Wes Lee, which leads to Wes Lee rolling Briggs into the ring and hitting his corkscrew 450 plancha bullshit that he hits. It's fine. It's flippy-dippy. It is what it is. I miss the kick. I'd rather the kick. Where was the cardiac kick? But Wes Lee gets the win. He's celebrating with the NXT Universe. Josh Briggs and Ivar start fighting, and I'm like, cool. I'd love to see that match again. I think Briggs and Ivar could be a lot of fun. So I want to see that. All of a sudden, Wes Lee's like, no, you guys aren't doing this without me, and dives off the top rope into the two of them. And then we see my man, my favorite man, my spirit animal, if you will, Obafemi in his suit, just standing there looking dapper, up in the eagle's nest, laughing at these idiots putting their bodies on the line while he's just standing there like, ho, 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 ho. Dance, puppets, dance. Ah, love Obafemi. He's great. I probably love Obafemi a little too much, but I have fun with him. This guy can throw people around, but he has a personality. Like, he's just not like, I'm a big, strong heel. I can't do that. No, he can laugh. He can have fun. You couldn't really hear him say anything, but he got the point across of, this is all comical to me. None of you are in my league. None of you are at my level. And I think that's exactly what they needed out of this segment. Wes Lee gets a big win. Josh Briggs has a decent match with Wes Lee. He's lower mid card to this the North American Championship here, but it's fine. We can heat him back up when we need him, but he's doing fine. Ivar is just here to get the other guys over, and then you have Obafemi looking like the badass that he is. Love it. No complaints. Perfect setup. He has charisma.
Yeah, he does, and personality, which a lot of people have trouble getting. So.
And he has it right away. He has that it factor, that charisma, that personality, just something. The difference between Von Wagner and Obafemi is that Obafemi has immediately, among a litany list of other things, has immediately made himself feel like we know what we're getting. We know sort of what we're getting. There's way more to uncover and whatnot. But he's entertaining at a very basic level in the very beginning. He can only get better from here. It could get worse, but you know what I'm saying? Like, he's got the things that are hard to get off the bat. Now we teach him how to wrestle. Now we teach him how to have a great wrestling match. And he's got time for that. He's an NIL talent. He's a young guy. He's got plenty of time. This is developmental. There's a lot of upside in Obafemi if they treat him right. Hello, Sean Cena. Thank you for joining us. What you got, Ashley? What you think about this one?
Well, first, I love the visual, the presentation at first of that video package for Wes Lee and having people backstage clapping for him as he's getting emotional that he's able to return. Like that part already just like had me in my heartstrings right there. Just thinking of like, we were so close to not even having him be here tonight to him being here and performing tonight. That's just incredible to think about. So having that moment of like, they said this is something that happened last week or last when he returned. So to be able to kind of see it in a way, something similar to what happened to him, I really love seeing that and the way he gets emotional about it as he's getting out. And not only that, but that shot of following him backstage all the way to the entrance is like we kind of see that already with Raw and SmackDown. So it's sad to see continuity with NXT getting a similar shot from the backstage area to the front for his entrance. And it looks pretty cool already as it is. And again, I enjoyed the match. I like the contracts and styles that we have here from both of them because we have Wes with this speed and agility, and we have Josh here with his power and the way he's like hitting that, targeting the back of Wes from the beginning of the match. It just I like how he does that. I like when he kind of has that working, and the way that Wes sells each one of those moves to sell the way that his back is going throughout the match. I think was really interesting to see it as it was happening. I did like how whenever Ivar already sat down at the commentary table, Wes is like, that's my target. And every time when he did something to Josh outside, he went towards Ivar no matter what. And I love how he's like able to like add him up in that aspect, where even though he's not part of the match. And again, like you, I was like, I missed the cardiac kick. That was the only thing is like I would have done with that instead of the finish. But I like how at the end we have still Josh and Ivar battling it out, and Wes is like, I'm still gonna get in this too. And he dives in on top of both of them. And he's like, no, I'm gonna get in this too. And thinking about it from this aspect, just seeing Oba from the Eagles, I just laughing, thinking of like, whenever you guys are done with your thing, I'm right here. Just so you know. You guys forget, like, I'm the champion. You won my championship. None of you guys have it, but you guys are all like having a moment there. So I like how he's able to just enjoy from that point of view up until they kind of organize themselves to deciding who's going to do this first. And then he's like, I'm open. He just like, I'm just here. And I like seeing that from him as well.
Yeah, Obafemi's not necessarily like, he's not scared to take on people, but unlike Wes Lee, he's not going to go out there and be like, okay, I'm going to take on all three of you in a match. I'm not going to do a fatal four-way. He's like, no. You guys figure out who it is, and I'll fight whoever that is. I don't care. He's not picky about who he fights. He just wants to fight one guy at a time.
Yeah, it's like, which one of you is at first? Yeah.
The triple threat was something different for him. But I like that because, like, he's not running scared. He's out there all the time, showing he's not scared, being out there, and just. I love the fact that we have a heel. He's not a heel, but he's the heel. Yeah. Who's just like, I don't have to attack you to beat you. I can beat you in the ring when I wrestle you. I don't need to do the Noam Dar stuff to get the upper hand. Yep. It is great to see Wes back. I'm very happy for him. And Barry Monkey does come in and says, the only difference between Von Wagner and Obafemi is everything. We have Sean Cena jumping in with, who do you guys have winning the NXT Women's North American title picture? I've seen it's not going to be Julia. They announced the 12 people who are eligible for the match. Julia is not one of them. She will not be winning the North American Women's Championship. She may be debuting and taking down Roxanne right off the bat. That I wouldn't be surprised to see.
Yep, agreed.
I don't think Julia needs a whole lot. Like, Julia's only in NXT because she's going to be back and forth in Japan. So the only reason why she's here with us is because she needs someplace that she can come and go as she pleases to work these Japanese shows for Marigold. Or Marigold, if I'm remembering Julia's promo correctly. It's not Marigold, it's Marigold. Either way, it's going to be fun. Keep up to date with all the happenings at Marigold with Japanese Wrestling Update right here on our local establishment. You can catch that every Friday, so go ahead and definitely check that. And if you go to our YouTube page, you can go ahead and like this video and subscribe when we put it up on YouTube tomorrow. So if you're seeing this tomorrow, go ahead and like and subscribe to the video. Leave a comment. Tell us what
Yes,
you
please do.
thought about this match. We have Roxanne arriving. I was not impressed. We have the recap of the NXT Underground. I was vastly unimpressed. We then have Shayna come. What? What? Did you really think either of those things were going to impress me?
No.
Were either of those things going to make me a happy man?
No, but I like your footnotes though. It's funny.
Shayna comes out with Lola, to which I described, why does Shayna need Lola now? I understood why Shayna was with Lola last week, sorta, kinda. I don't understand why she's still with her.
I still would just love her for her to kick Lola in the face somehow when she was dancing. That would have been chef's kiss for me.
You know, I've now figured it out. Lola Vice is now going to be Shayna Baszler's new Scrappy Doo. Yep, but can't do anything.
And then we kick her in the face?
We can kick Lola in the face every week as far as I'm concerned. I'm fine. I have some other thoughts, but I'll leave those for off the air. But before we can get to the match with Karmen Petrovic, we have to go backstage after the commercial break with TNT, Hank and Tank, and Naxium all talk about how big of a win Naxium's win was last week. They cheated. It's not a big win. They cheated. They blatantly cheated. Not a big win. AOP was cheated out of the NXT Tag Team Championships.
Good.
But nonetheless, TNT talk about how they want someday. They weren't even saying like now. They were like, we hope that one day we're able to be good enough to be able to challenge for the NXT Tag Team titles. And in comes the Candy Crew talking a whole bunch of shit. And I'm like, why are we talking shit? Like, TNT were just happy. They're like, look, we made our debut. You know, one day we want to be able to challenge. They weren't like, we deserve a title match now. No, you don't deserve a title match. You lost. Like the Candy Crew said, you lost. You know, you shouldn't be celebrating, but you should at least, you know, be proud that you made your NXT television debut. That's a good thing. Considering all the NXT talent that got released that didn't make a TV debut. I see that guy posting. He posted today. He's like, oh, it's NXT. Oh, I was released. Never mind. And I'm just like, yeah. And every time I see you tweet, sir, I'm more and more happy that you got released because you seem like an asshole. But these guys start getting in it with the Candy Crew, and all the people who don't matter anymore just politely like move off screen. It was so nice. They had this like semi-brawl thingy where they all just kind of vacated the area, so we just have Naxium there. And then in walked the Good Brothers. And they offer them a 2-sweet. How dare Naxium not 2-sweet the Good Brothers?
How do you decline that? Come on.
I don't know. But Naxium was stupid enough to do so. So now they're going to have to face the wrath of the Good Brothers. I mean, wrath.
Sure.
We then have Shayna tapping out Karmen Petrovic.
Wow.
It was a match. It happened.
But you know what? This match though made me realize how I missed that version of Shayna. Because it made me realize that this is the Shayna we used to watch when she was by herself. And a lot of it happened in NXT. So seeing her here, it's like, I want this. Like, where is this? And where is this in the main roster? That's all I could think about as everything was happening. Because we had so many moments that she would do stuff like this to the girls. And she looked like the baddest woman of the planet. Like, literally, she beat Ronda for that title. And then nothing came out of it after Ronda left. And then I see this and I'm like, dang it. Why? I want to see that all the time, not just tonight because she's in NXT. Karmen, though, she was all right. I feel like her performance wasn't... I wouldn't say it was a showcase. I feel like we didn't see a lot of her. I mean, it was good in the sense of, like, obviously we saw that side of Shayna we haven't seen in quite a while. But still, it was nice to see Karmen show off a little bit more for herself because we don't get to see it often. But it still was like, it made me miss that Shayna that I used to watch more than anything.
The match did less for Karmen than the promo does later in the show. The promo later in the show does far more than this match ever could. Which is sad because, like I said, like I say, the match happened. It was fine. It was fine. Like, It wasn't bad. Karmen didn't look out of place, but then again, it's hard to look out of place with Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler is very good at what she does. So it's not that big a deal that, but it is what it is. The match happened. We move on. Kelani is backstage ranting and raving about how much she wants to smack Fallon for turning her back on Thea Hale. Again, I ask, why wouldn't you turn your back on Thea Hale? Have you seen Thea Hale? Have you had to listen to Thea Hale? Of course you would turn your back on Thea Hale. It makes perfect sense. However, Fallon says, well, then why didn't you smack me in yesterday during the Combine? She's like, I was focused on the Combine. I wanted to get my shit done. So apparently they're going to have a match later on tonight. They didn't say it. I thought it was going to be for like next week, and I was really hoping it was going to be for next week because I didn't. Fine. They're having a match. Kalani's mad that reasons. Fallon punched Thea head. Like, what?
Say it. Come on, rant. Go.
Why are we worried about who the girls are friends with? Like, are we back to NXT has done such a good job of giving us valid reasons for having wrestling matches. And Kelani and Fallon is literally, why did you turn your back on my friend? And I'm just like, really? That's what we're doing? Like, there's literally nothing more to it than Fallon was a meanie. It's like, really? Really?
I really felt more like, to put it this way, like this was an excuse for this match to happen because we cannot do Fallon and Thea yet, so we had to do a little something in between before we get to Thea and Fallon happening here. So it's like we need to kind of fill in that gap somehow, and this felt like that gap, and it felt like the only person we could either put in here is Kelani because she's the one that teamed up with her and Thea. But it feels like really like a cheap excuse to get that match going and to get the match happening before we get Thea and Fallon. And it's like, and not only that, but I was like seeing Stevie in the back, Stevie Turner in the background. It frustrated me. It's like, this girl has been in the background here for like weeks now. What's happening? That's another thing that frustrated me. I see her, I'm like, I looked, I'm like, is that Stevie? I'm like, ah! I just wanted to cry seeing her there.
She was the only of the Platinum Blondes that I actually recognized who the hell they were.
Yep.
Because there were 4 blonde girls sitting in a line. And the only one I recognized was Stevie Turner. We then have part 1 of the Combine, testing speed. The whole sections will be speed, strength and conditioning, and power. Talk about all the events that took place in the speed section, but the most important thing to know out of this, coming out of it, is that the ones who shine in the speed portion were Thea Hale and Kelani Jordan. Remember, this stupid Combine is to set up wrestling matches. Why? Here's why, I guess. I don't know. Shout out Simon Miller. You're great.
But the part I like about this Combine, though, because a lot of us have seen like Breaking Ground and NXT Next Generation. So we get a lot of what it's like a little bit behind the scenes, like when they kind of do this tryouts. And more than anything, it's like this is kind of like a template of how they do it. And it's nice to see not only that, but seeing like this is one of those things, even though the numbers might be different, but this is another thing, like how real it is for them. It really shows us here during the show how it is for them during the tryouts and during training and conditioning and everything. So it's nice to kind of get that behind the scenes feel we don't usually get from WWE and NXT aspect.
I agree. It's great to see. And I'd love a show like Breaking Ground to come back to show us all of these fun things in a way that makes fucking sense. This makes no sense in determining the 10 people who are going to be in the North American qualifying matches for the Women's North American Championship.
It's 12, sir. 12.
It could be 30. I don't care. We then have unannounced match number 4 on the night. It's only been 3 matches. But no. TNT versus the Candy Crew. The Candy Crew this week was made up of Baby Orton and Charlie Dempsey. However, the referee was, as Alicia Taylor said, unavailable.
That was so funny.
So the special guest referee was Stats. To which point I go, oh, So this is what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Fun. I stopped paying attention to this match as soon as I realized that Stacks was the guest referee. TNT wins the match. Because Stacks slow counts when Charlie Dempsey is pinning one guy, and then Charlie Dempsey gets mad and pushes Stacks, and then Stack punches Charlie Dempsey and apparently punches him out cold because TNT guy pins him and it's like 1, 2, 3, and they run out of the ring. But I love how all of them run out of the ring. Stacks ran out of the ring. The babyface tag team, who for reasons unknown had to get out of the ring really fast too, apparently. So, fine.
I think for me the downfall of this though is that it felt like Stacks was too much of a distraction, and it definitely like took away from the match. And it's like if you're trying to see, like, for example, what TNT is like, I feel like I was more concentrated on Stacks being the referee than TNT. So if you were to ask me what they did, I wouldn't know. I was more paying attention to Stacks. I was like, I don't know if it was a good thing or a bad thing that he was my focus during this match, even though he technically wasn't in the match. Yes.
Oh, but he certainly was. Oh. We then move on to my favorite backstage moment of the night.
Mm-hmm.
I had a ball with this. Arianna Grace talking to Chelsea Green. Oh my God, I needed this tag team. Piper, I love you. You are fantastic. You were the perfect antithesis for everything that Chelsea Green is. However, I don't want the antithesis of what Chelsea Green is. I now want Chelsea Green's twin, because I want Chelsea Green tag teaming with Arianna Grace. Because this was a lot of fun. This was great. And the best part of this isn't necessarily the things going back and forth between Arianna and Chelsea. And by the way, you don't need to know what they said. It doesn't matter what they said because they were entertaining. But the most entertaining point is that Gigi Dolan is stuck directly in the middle of them, and they're talking to each other like she doesn't exist. And it was perfect. And Chelsea's like, I'm going to win the championship. And she's like, yes, you must. You know, and Chelsea's like, I got to win it for this and for this and for you. And she's like, and for Georgina. And I'm like, oh God. Oh, that's so great. Like, at that point, I really wanted Chelsea to win. Mind you, last week I said I wanted Roxanne to win. This promo flip-flopped me, and I wanted Roxanne to lose again. I was sadly sad at the end of it. No. Bad Tony.
Right? I saw that too, and I went, no, we don't want that.
I was really hoping Tony would stop in so I could scold him for this live on the air. Tony, I don't know if you've noticed this, but me and Ashley have been talking about it for a long time here. Every person that Robert Stone works with gets released. Robert Stone worked at Chelsea Green. She got released. He then started working with Mercedes Martinez. She got released. He then started working with Taya Valkyrie. She got released. He then started working with Von Wagner. He's now released. Chelsea's back. We love Chelsea. Chelsea's doing good work. She annoys the ever-living piss out of me, but she's doing good work. You don't want Robert Stone anywhere near her. Robert Stone needs to keep his distance from everybody on screen. Tony, I appreciate you coming around. Damn good point.
This is exactly what I was going to reply on Twitter, in other words.
Yeah. I wholeheartedly agree with you that Robert Stone and Chelsea Green work perfectly together. The moment they have backstage before the match is great. I would love to have the two of them paired back together again. If Robert Stone wasn't the fucking axe that gets everybody released. I understand the desire to have Stone and Chelsea because the two of them together make magic. But for the fact that I still want Chelsea Green here and not to be released again, she cannot work with Robert Stone anymore.
No, we don't want that.
That is the only reason why that can't happen. You make a very good point that it would be great. I understand that logic. I understand the desire to want them together again. Maybe Chelsea ends that streak. We thought Vaughn was the one who ended that streak because he worked with Vaughn for fucking ever. And then Vaughn got released, and I'm like, there is no breaking it. He's just the bad luck charm.
She has worked too hard to return. Let's keep her here, please.
I don't think anybody has been released from WWE, and this isn't a fact. This is just a thinking back and listening. I don't think anybody's ever been released from WWE as many times as Chelsea Green.
Oh, Emma.
If I had to count, no, I don't. I only think it's two. I only think Emma's been released twice.
Yeah, so isn't it Chelsea has been twice?
I think it's 3 for Chelsea at minimum.
Well,
remember,
Emma's
she was here when she was here when she was young, and then got released. She then came back with the Deonna Purrazzo. They were doing their thing, and then she made it to SmackDown, got hurt, rehabbed, re-debuted on SmackDown, got hurt in that match, went back down to NXT, got released. I want to say she's had at least 3 releases from this company. It might only be 2, and it might be the same as Emma. But I want to say this poor girl's been released too many times. If they release her again, she ain't never coming back.
No.
I agree. I wasn't a big fan of her. I didn't see the need to bring her back in. But this Karen gimmick that she's got going on is utter gold right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I would not change it for anything. She knows what she's doing. She's okay being a laughing stock.
Mm-hmm.
She understands that with what she's doing, she can't be the best. She can't be at the top of the card. However, she knows that with what she's doing, she gets hits on social media. She stays on television, and she stays having an opportunity and a job. Think about this. R-Truth's been here forever. He's not the greatest wrestler. He's never in the top programs. Why? Because he's funny and people love him. People love Chelsea for the exact same reasons right now. Speaking of people we love, Papa Smokes is in the chat. Hello, Papa Smokes. Thank you for joining us. We greatly appreciate it. Yes, her inspirations with Pierce always cracked me up. I do agree. And I can't wait for more of them with Sir Nicholas. What did she call him? Sir Nicholas of something. I forget.
But even then, yeah, if you think about it, Arianna does that similar kind of thing in NXT, and this is why this works so well too, because they don't mind making themselves look like almost like idiots to entertain us, to think about it that way. And it just reminds me a lot. It makes me miss like the Iconics, because I feel like that would have been great with Chelsea too at ringside. Like that would have been another one that would have been golden for me as well.
That would have been a faction I would have been happy to watch all day, every day. Again, if you're watching this on YouTube, please go ahead and give us a like. Go ahead and leave us a comment about what you think about what Chelsea Green's been doing in WWE right now. We move on to Michin defeating Arianna Grace. This match started. This match ended. It happened.
Yeah, there's not much to that one.
I have no thoughts. Apparently, she did something that got people to notice online. I don't know what she did, but Michin, whatever you want to call it, did something. I don't know. I saw her tagged a whole bunch on social media. We'll find out later. We then get to Supernova Sessions. Oh, Supernova Sessions. Trick Williams comes out. Trick Williams wants to know what's in the envelope. Noam then stops him and says, no, this is my show. We do it on my time. And then seemingly forgetting whatever was supposed to happen next, tells Lash to open the envelope. Right after telling Trick they couldn't do it right now because it wasn't on Noam's time. And I want to believe that it was just Noam being a heel and being like, no, we do it when I say, okay, do it.
Okay,
No,
now.
I think there was supposed to be something in between that didn't happen.
Yeah, it's a possibility with him.
We do, however, get what was in the envelope, and it's this. A photo from the match between Trick Williams and Noam Dar, where Noam Dar's feet are under the ropes as Trick Williams gets the 3 count. Whoop-de-fucking-do. All of this for that. Seemingly. Trick's like, look, if you wanted a title match, you didn't have to go through all this to manufacture a reason. I would have just gave you a title match. Noam's like, no. Because the whole momentum of you getting to dethrone the Mad Dragon is all because you beat me here. And I'm like, I don't think that lie detector test, as Maury would say, because they referenced Maury in this promo, the lie detector determined that was a lie. However, Trick Williams does shout out the crowd from last week's segments by saying, this is the Maury show, and Trick Williams ain't the daddy. However, he then did tell Lash to tell everyone the truth. And they sort of kind of came out as a couple on live television.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if this was supposed to happen because Lash felt very uncomfortable during this. I don't know if I should be upset with Trick Williams because he called out Lash on national television, or if this is just the way it's supposed to have gone and Lash wanted to break into the metaphor in a different way. Like, I don't know which one it is, and it makes it a really weird segment because of that. However, he does tell her to tell the rest of them that she calls him Trick Willy Wonka, which now means that Trick is now, in my mind, a member of the Candy Crew, along with Charlie Dempsey
Oh no.
and Baby Orton in the Oompa Loompa. This was bad. Okay, I won't say it wasn't bad. I didn't need or want any of it. And I got it. And I'm no more entertained and ready for this match coming out of it than I was going in. Oh, also, while Trick is trying to do all this with Lash, Noam Dar blasts him in the face with, I believe it was a kick. I don't know. I didn't care enough to go back and find out how he hit him. He just blasted him when he wasn't looking.
Just that visual though of seeing Trick down just because of Noam Dar just kicking him once. It's like, didn't you just go against the Mad Dragon? Like, what? What is going on here? And then he looks like he's barely moving from that single kick.
Yeah.
What? What just happened here? My world champion's on the floor. Can somebody go pick him up? Please, it doesn't make any sense to me right now. That part alone just like made me feel like, what? Am I supposed to see Noam Dar as a threat? Because I really don't. And then seeing that, it's just like, is that supposed to change my mind somehow? Because, why? I just don't understand how he just fell on the floor because of that kick. And like, he looked like he was knocked out because he was barely moving, making it seem like he was.
He took a nap. Under his own power, he was taken to a local medical facility, as we were told by Vic Joseph and Booker T. Noam Dar put Trick Williams in the hospital. Moving on to things that also don't matter, we had the power competition in the Combine. This was led, apparently, by Michin and Jada Parker. That doesn't surprise me. Not one bit. Not one bit am I surprised that Jada Parker is one of the strongest people in that NXT women's division.
Mm-hmm.
Tony says it's a bit off subject, but who do you think will be next in line for the world title in NXT? Oba usually can kind of tell who's next in line. I don't know. I don't think there's anybody right now ready to take the title off Trick. I sure as hell know Oba's not ready right now to take the title off Trick. I don't think Oba ready. Honestly, I don't want Oba to lose his title for the next 6 months. I'd be more than happy with 6 more months of Oba Femi as champion. I think we'll start to see who's next to take that NXT championship in the coming months and weeks. But I don't think that they have to worry too much about it right now because it seems like we're going to get a decent length run from Trick Williams here. But it's not that off the wall. I mean, we were just talking about the segment with Noam Dar, so it makes perfect sense to drop that there. Speaking of things that don't make sense, we had Kelani come out, but first, Natalya's backstage with Karmen, trying to give her a pep talk of sorts, I think. Telling her that karate is all about defensive and wrestling's all about being aggressive. And then some guy says, hey, it doesn't matter that you lost. You're still a smoke show. And he gets absolutely decimated with a karate kick.
I missed that. What the heck?
You didn't see this segment?
No.
Yeah, they're literally walking backstage. And these random people backstage, like the first guy comes up to Natty and he was like, hey, I really enjoyed the match last week. Good job. I'm sorry you lost. Natty's like, oh, thanks, you know. And then the second guy comes up and he just literally looks at Karmen and goes, hey, it's fine that you lost. You're still hot. And she kicks him in the head and knocks him on his ass. Like,
what the F?
Yeah, what the fuck?
That is so weird. I kind of want to go back and watch that because this feels so weird.
We then had Kelani versus Fallon. Astrid, what did you think of this match?
It was fine for me. It's just a matter of like, obviously we get to see a little bit of Fallon heading on the heel side. She is really concentrated on the turnbuckle and removing it somehow. And she's able to do that and able to use it against Kelani for the win as the match is happening. But I feel like a lot of like nothing happened again during this match. It was just like more than like that particular kind of, I don't want to say spot because it was more than once, but it kind of like that focus, to put it like that. And to give Fallon more of like that moment of like, she's a heel. She has to do something heelish. So let's have her cheat kind of thing. So that was that sort of moment there. And yeah, I was like, other than that, there was nothing else to it for me. What about you?
I thought this was fine. I didn't think it was a great match. I didn't think it was an awful match. I thought it was broadly fine. All right, we're gonna get ourselves in a little bit of trouble potentially, but we're gonna go ahead. Since people think I had a fever dream of this segment.
Okay.
Right,
well, we can lower the volume, right?
It's not the volume. It's the fact that they're half naked that the people from the Middle Eastern countries don't like.
I feel like you put me under your wing and I'm just constantly letting you down.
Karmen, don't be silly. Honestly, like, whether you've been here for a year or 17 years, that's part of it. Like, it's about finding your edge.
Nat, what do you mean?
In karate, it's about the art of self-defense. In wrestling, it's about bringing offense. It's about being the aggressor.
And to tell you, that underground match last week was sick.
Thank you so much.
Okay, be the aggressor.
Karmen. Hey, listen. Don't worry about the loss. At the end of the day, you're still a smoke show.
Okay, we need more of that. We can build off of that. That's a start. That's a start.
Oh. A big what the F still. And not only that, but the first guy literally walking by them and literally checking them out as he's walking by too. What the heck? Or you're muted.
Yeah, a bunch of what the fuck was this? Like I said, I just showed you. It wasn't a fever dream. Like, that actually happened. That was directly from Twitter.
So this time we do it, and that was a segment, and it happened. Jeez.
No, I thought Fallon versus Kelani was fine. I don't like. I hated the spot with the turnbuckle because Kelani didn't take it good at all. At all. Very, very poorly. Like, she did fine being thrown into the corner, but then when she comes out of the corner, she's selling that she hurt her rib or her side, and then Fallon does the running knee, and then after the match, she's like grabbing her jaw and being like, my jaw hurts. And I'm like, well, yeah, because you were supposed to hit the turnbuckle with your head.
Poor little thing.
I agree. It's developmental. It'll get better. The rest of the match was good. However, as you know in this business, the finish matters. And when you blow the finish like that, it's not a good sign.
Mm-hmm.
We then have Charlie and the Candy Crew in a backstage segment where they tell Tony that he can get his Heritage Cup match, but remember, there's the catch clause. And next week, you'll find out who's going to be when you take us on. And I'm like, wait, so we're not even putting this to the fucking pay-per-view? We're doing it next week? The fuck? Oh, NXT. But if I wasn't deflated enough from after all that, we get more Combine! Woo! Strength and conditioning. Shocking. Lash Legend is very strong. Oh, my YouTube face.
Nice.
Shocking, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then they don't tell us who does the best in the conditioning drills. Like, they hype up a couple people, but like throughout this thing, they were like, and the stars in this section were this person, and the stars in this section were these people. And this one, they're just like, this person did well in this event, but this person did well in this event. And I'm like, that's not how you've been doing it the whole night. What the fuck? Why'd the change? Barry Monkey says, I thought the Heritage Cup was far better with the annoying Noam. I agree. I am now wishing that the Heritage Cup was back with Noam Dar, because if that was the case, he wouldn't be in the NXT title picture.
I don't want either.
Well, speaking of more things that we don't want, Lexis King versus Duke Hudson. And then Ridge Holland comes out.
That made it worse for me.
It did. It made it much worse. However, he made it much worse for Duke Hudson because he tries to come in and save Thea, which he does. He gets Lexis King to go back in the ring, and Duke Hudson hits Lexis with a big move. However, he also tried to go in the ring with the steel chair, which then Duke and the ref tried to pick up. So then the ref picked it up, and then Duke got hit with a big running knee in the coronation, and Lexis gets the win.
And this annoyed me because from Duke's point of view, why would you pick up the chair?
Yep.
That's not something you usually do. So why would you even try to pick it up? If I was me, I would have slid it out the ring because it was more in like the middle-ish. I would have slid it off the ring in that way instead of pulling it towards me. And then I'm like, that could have potentially hit the ref. You could have gotten DQ'd there. They made it almost seem like that he could have used it. That was another DQ. And then obviously it still gave you the loss. So it's like, it would have been a better way, just like here, and kind of slide it off to like Thea and have Thea grab it. But I was like, why would you pick it up? Or either that or slide it towards the left side, like his left side of the ring. I was like, why would you even try to pick it up?
Why would you stop paying attention to Lexis King and just let the referee take care of the chair? It's not like you brought it to the ring. You're not going to get disqualified.
And nobody had it. If it was like, for example, like if it was Rich coming in with the chair, I will kind of get it like him trying to stop him from doing it. Yeah. But if it's only the chair, I don't know how that happened.
Good job. You did the because you're an Apple person. You did the two.
Oh, I know, but I didn't think I did it. But it's just, but it's just a matter of like that moment alone. It's like if it was Rich coming into the attack, I get you trying to like stop him from doing it, hold the chair, something like that. But if it's only the chair and you're not going to use it, why don't you just let the referee just grab and slide it off and you take care of Lexis? Like that part, it just irritated me, just seeing that spot there.
Yeah. And remember, Lexis King versus Duke Hudson, Astrid's fireworks of the moment of the night. Have that once every week on NXT as long as she can remember to figure out how to do it.
I figured I'd still would like staying still to do it.
We then finally get the results of the Combine. It's about fucking time. We spent way more than enough time on this tonight at NXT. And we find out that the results are as follows. The top 12 are Sol Ruka, Thea Hale, Jada Parker, Brinley Reitz, Mia Yim, Fallon Henley, Lash Legend, Ivy Nile, Izzy Dame, Kelani Jordan, Tatum Paxley, and Ren Sinclair. I mean, fine, I guess. Sure, that works. Hey, HBC bad guys, thank you for joining us. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys for checking in the show. We really appreciate it. And if you're watching the show on YouTube, please go ahead and make sure that you hit like and subscribe on the video. And go ahead and leave us a comment about what you think about a Combine determining the top 12 people in the NXT North American Women's Championship qualifiers for the ladder match to determine the first NXT North American Women's Champion. God, that's a fucking mouthful.
You did it.
We then see Noam Dar leaving the building without Lash Legend. It's just him, Jakara, and what's his name? Dum Dum. Oro Mensa, that's the one. And they walk outside and they brush off the interviewer. And Javon Evans is out there supporting his boy Trick Williams. I guess, sure, why not? Because reasons. They've never once interacted on screen together, but reasons. But it sounds like we're getting a match between Noam Dar and Javon Evans. But Noam Dar cuts a really cool promo here. I'll give the devil his due here, where he talks about how he's like, look, you're the new shiny toy, and that's fine. Everybody loves you. But remember, there's no easier way to derail your career than having to have a match with me. And I go, Noam, you're right. There is nobody else that can derail somebody else's career as bad as you, with the exception of Robert Stone.
No lie, when he said that, I kept thinking the only person I could think about was Robert Stone in this instance, at least. That's the only person that came to mind. Is like not Noam Dar, not any way, shape, or form metaphor. Stone. That's it. I really didn't understand the point of this.
So to go back with the people who he's feuded with in NXT that I can remember. Dragon Lee on the main roster as part of the LWO on Raw. Mm-hmm. He feuded with Naxium, both of them. They're both the tag team champions. Did a real good job derailing their career. He feuded with Trick Williams. He's the NXT champion. He feuded with Carmelo Hayes. He's on the main roster. He's in the King of the Ring tournament.
Alpha Academy?
Alpha Academy. They're still on television, sort of. Maybe you derailed their career, but I have a feeling their careers derailed years ago. Otis when he won the Money in the Bank and turned it into a fucking lunchbox. And Akira Tozawa when they made him have a ninja.
I think Lash might be checking on Trick Willy Wonka. That's why she wasn't there.
No, that's exactly why she wasn't there. But NXT didn't tell us that. NXT told us that she just wasn't there. We then get a Jasmine Nix promo package telling us all about JC Jane's broken nose. Ooh.
Give it to me. Come
on. Why did I fucking need this? Thea Hale is feuding with Fallon Henley. She's done with JC Jane. Why are we feuding with JC Jane and Thea Hale still? What the fuck was this NXT? Mind you, I'm mad at the idea of why we needed this promo. I will, however, say Jasmine Nix vastly impressed me because it's actually a really good promo package. Then again, it should always be a good promo package when it's pre-recorded.
Mm-hmm.
You should have enough time to fix these so that they always look good when they're pre-recorded. It wasn't like she did it live. That being said, it was impressive nonetheless. She did a good job. I don't understand why. we're getting this feud. I don't understand why it's not done and over with. Is it going to be Thea Hale and Kelani Jordan versus Jasmine, Nix, and Fallon Henley at the pay-per-view?
I hope not at the pay-per-view, though.
Because that sounds fucking awful to me. I'll be honest with you. None of that sounds appetizing.
If it's Battleground, we should have an NXT Women's Championship and the North American one. So unless they do it at the kickoff, maybe. But other than that, I'm like, I don't know how there's a spot for it on the card. Yeah. I don't think it's worth it to be on the card, at least for that one.
Yeah. We then get the rundown for next week. We have Soul versus Izzy or Karmen, one of the two in the qualifying matches.
She did the thing and it's green.
Sure, that sounds right. Soul's a babyface, so that seems more likely. But who knows? They're both blonde. It's hard to tell. We also have Ivy Nile taking on Lash Legend. So Lash Legend will be winning that match. That's nice. Like, there's no way Ivy Nile wins that match, right? Like,
I feel like if it was against somebody that's like newer, I feel like I would have put Ivy there, but because it's Lash, that's what's making me doubt it. Yeah, that makes sense.
We have Tony versus the Candy Crew in the Heritage Cup match next week. And Javon Evans versus Noam Dar was made official. I'm excited for that. I love Javon Evans. He's great. Yeah. Noam Dar is Noam Dar, but whatever. It'll be good. We then get Robert Stone backstage, and he gives a wink to Chelsea Green as she puts on her hat. And I pray to God that wasn't enough to curse her, but you never know. And then Roxanne Perez versus Chelsea Green. Astrid, how was the women's main event of the evening?
To be honest, I like the fact that this is one of those matches that probably is the longest match I've seen Chelsea do in WWE so far. And I like that in the aspect because usually we get her being Raw for like a couple of minutes and that's it. And I get because that goes with the gimmick, but it's nice to see her a little bit more than that in a show. So I like seeing that here. And it just having her being here and going against Roxanne just reminds me again. It's like every time, most of the time when somebody comes from the main roster, they end up going against Roxanne somehow. And it's just like to see like her experience kind of being showcased in that aspect. I think the part that really, I don't want to say disappointed, but I was like, about this match was the finish in itself. Because I don't like how the pop rocks happened before the finish happened. I think my favorite parts were definitely like that back and forth they had for a moment when they're trying to pin each other. And it looks like almost Chelsea won at one point, and the referee had to like kind of push Roxanne out of the way because the pin wasn't working well in that aspect. But again, I feel like it was fine. There was nothing other than that to like really highlight. I feel like though I would have loved for Roxanne to take the Unpretty Her just because I wanted to see it happen, and you don't get to see that happening often. But other than that, I did love how the crowd was very divided for this one too, because I seen a lot of people online since this got like announced last week of a lot of people cheering for Chelsea Green to be champion. I was like, I feel like it would have been cool if she did win because she doesn't get to have like a singles championship like this. But at the same time, I was like, we're not gonna have Roxanne's reign, be over now and they have it pick back up sometime later. I knew that wouldn't be happening.
Yeah, and remember, Chelsea Green is also one of the prime candidates to win the Women's Queen of the Ring tournament coming up. So, don't sleep on. I'm serious. Do not sleep on the idea that Chelsea Green will win Queen of the Ring. The match was fine. Like it wasn't anything great. There were a couple iffy spots in the match, but overall, it wasn't fine. It does what it does. But it's a way to make Roxanne look good. And again, we need to pump Roxanne up as high as we can, because we're about to tear this girl down when Julia comes in and beats her in no time when Julia debuts. Barry Monkey says, poor Robert Stone probably sits there all day as his kids keep asking, where's Uncle Vaughn? Oh, poor Uncle Vaughn. We then have the D'Angelo family attacking the Candy Crew. Not this D'Angelo family, but the other D'Angelo family. Got to make sure I use it every week. And it seems like he kidnaps. I saw Damon. He might have kidnapped Baby Orton as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, I saw Damon, but I didn't see Randy Jr. there, so I wasn't sure on that one. But you can definitely see Damon before they take off. But I kept thinking of with the visual of as the car's going off and Charlie comes out of the building, he's by himself. So that makes me think that he's there too. But I feel like they should have shown him.
I also do love Charlie Dempsey doing his best John Travolta from the meme.
Yes.
Oh, where is everybody? So
It also reminded me.
Bobby, when you cut this for the clip, Bobby, when you cut this in the middle between me and Astrid, there means to be the John Travolta theme where he's just looking around.
This also reminded me that last one we had Legato in NXT with the car taking off. That's what it reminded me of in this part too.
Yeah. It was. Oh, it was something. Astrid, tell the good people where they can find you this week.
I mean, nothing else for this week, at least, I think. I keep forgetting what this week is. But either way, if you go to Body Sam's YouTube channel, you can find my latest interview of Astrid Ass with Jasmine Allure. There's also the one with Emily Jade the Stunner that's also on their channel. That will be coming up to my channel pretty soon. I have a lot of book videos on my YouTube channel now that I'm going to try to keep uploading a little semi-regularly, to put it like that. Other than that, you can find me on my socials as it is there. My YouTube channel, Astrid Pizarro. Subscribe and click on that bell to be notified when I upload. The same thing with OLE. Get notified whenever we upload or go live, which is almost on a daily basis for OLE. So that's amazing to think about now. But yeah, other than that, there's my Twitter and Blue Sky is Astrid Pizarro. Threads and Instagram is Astrid Pizarro 20. There you go.
Remember, if you're picking up WWE merch like that brand new WWE Speed Championship that Ricochet won, if they put it up on WWE Shop yet, you can go ahead and pick it up with this affiliate code. Or you can just buy any of your WWE merch with this affiliate code. And you pay the same great prices you normally would. You get the same great deals you normally would. But you kick a little back to the natural so you can go ahead and start paying off that trip to Mania that she's already booked. And yes, I know she's already booked it because I was sitting here talking to her as she booked the hotel.
Yes, I did.
If you want to give Astrid some more money, you can go ahead and get your Astrid shirt. The natural Astrid Pizarro, as modeled by the wonderful Mike the Ref here and the lovely Mel Ball Collins on the other side. You can go ahead and scan this QR code to get that. You can, of course, find me somewhere. Where am I? You can find me on the Twitter at EdFries12584. You can find me on the Twitch at twitch.tv/EdFries2002. No Marvel Talk this week. We are back next week. We're going to be covering the final 3 episodes of X-Men 97 Season 1, Tolerance is Extinction. The first episode was a banger last Tuesday/Wednesday, depending on where you are in the world. So make sure you go ahead and check that out if you haven't. We're looking to line up some guests. I know we just lined up a guest for our Deadpool review. We actually have 2 guests for our Deadpool 3 review, so I'm very excited for that. It'll be a whole bunch of fun. But remember, next Monday night, you can go ahead and catch me and Astrid right here next Monday as we go ahead and talk NXT TakeOver, Our Evolution. This is the great thumbnail. We got Baron Corbin. We've got Sasha Banks, not Mercedes Moné. We've got Adrian Neville. We've got the Demon Finn Balor. We've got Sami Zayn. We've got Kevin Owens. We've got Charlotte. Just Charlotte. She might have been Charlotte Flair at this point. I don't remember.
No.
I think she was just Charlotte at this point.
Yep.
But that'll be happening next Monday night during Raw. So go ahead and catch us with that review next week. But we're almost out of time, but we do want to go ahead and plug one more time the Our Local Establishment. You can go ahead and plug the YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/Our Local Establishment. Go ahead and check that out. We upload all of the live shows will be up there, and any shows that we do that aren't live on YouTube will be put up there as a podcast form, so you can go ahead and check out all of those shows in case you missed it. We are going to do a couple of raids, so on our way out, we'll do that. But until next time, see you later. Goodbye.
I'm never gonna look back, 'cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I